Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Black in America. Today, our special guest is the one and only Rico Nasty. Now, not only will this conversation be rooted around her Black experience in America, but will also focus on the importance of Black music in her life. So, I only have one question for you, family. Are you ready?
What's up, guys? I'm Rico Nasty, and I'm Black in America.
Talk to me. The first thing, we're doing this series, Black in America, right? And I was so delighted that you want to join us because hearing from you and your perspective is going to be incredible. So tell us first off, what do you think about, right? When you're hearing, and you knew this question was going to come up, but tell me, what was it like for you growing up Black in America? And tell us where you grew up at.
Okay, I grew up in a lot of different places. That's for one. Like I was raised mainly like in the DMV area, all throughout DC. I was born in DC, which was weird. Let's talk about that because like my whole life I had always thought that I was born in Maryland, but I mean that I was born in New York, but I wasn't. I was born at the Washington Hospital. So born in DC, moved to Maryland. I mean moved to New York for a little bit, and I don't really remember that part of my life too much. But then moved to Maryland, and that's really where I grew up. And it's just like obviously I know my experience being Black in America is completely different from people who are darker than me, but I never could like pass as white or anything like that. So it was just always like, you're Black and like, what are you? I would always get that question and I would hate it because, you know, obviously I would love to embrace my Puerto Rican culture. My mom is Puerto Rican. She speaks Puerto Rican. She speaks Spanish. I said she speaks Puerto Rican. Wow. But like, I don't speak Spanish. So growing up, my initial reaction being around her family was like, damn, like they really have like their own language. Like they could call a bitch fake and I would never know. So that initially just made me feel like just I never fit in. I never understood it. I never when it came like, I don't know, growing up Black in America is just it's confusing. That's the best way to put it. It's confusing because people there's always like these weird ass things that you have to be in order to be like in order for you to be digested in certain communities, the only way that they can accept you is by in their heads, you can't just be Black. Like you gotta be like other stuff too. And that kind of just is always like I don't like that.
Just accept what I said. I'm Black, and that's it.
It is what it
It
is.
is what it is, right? And we don't need to add a hyphen. We don't need to add something else to it. I'm just Black. Leave it at
Yeah, we
that.
don't need to even play. I mean, this sounds so hella weak, but like I definitely got picked on for being light skinned.
Wow.
But like that's the way the being Black is. You're either gonna get picked on for being dark skinned, you're gonna get picked on for being light skinned, you're gonna be picked on for it's just that's how it is. Like I don't really that doesn't really affect me because
Got it.
it would be like little shit like I turn red or whatever, like I don't know,
Right.
little shit like that.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I had rosy cheeks when I was coming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
like
I
a
get it.
little petty shit.
Right, 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 right. So that was your experience. It was confusing. It was challenging. It was difficult, and you were being forced to be something more than just Black in America, just Black, right?
Yeah, but I think what really made me proud to be Black
Mm-hmm.
was my dad. My dad was in jail. He was in jail for like a year and then he came out. And my dad is a Muslim. So he was always like very much so into teaching me his beliefs and teaching me about the things that he believed in. I just remember hearing about like just all the shit that we discovered and made and the things that they tried to like sweep under the rug. And it just made me even more like engaged in power, I guess. Like I remember at this time I was like 14, 15. So I wasn't really like into power. Like at that age, you're not into power. You're not into learning about how people will manipulate you to make you feel like you're not golden,
Yeah.
just so that they can feel more golden and feel more, better about themselves. So when
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching Hidden Colors and I'm seeing all this shit, and obviously like they don't teach you none of that in school, I'm like, bro, like it was one of those like long, deep talks about just like being a woman too. Also, they used to run tests on us. They used to run tests on our body parts. They used to run tests on our skin. Like dermatologists back in the day wouldn't even test on white people, and it's just be certain shit that you just hear about, and you're like, this shit is sick. It made my perspective on life change. It made my perspective on why people might want to be my friend change. Like a lot of shit, because it just made me feel like that we all have a greater power, and some of the people that you meet in life try to hide your powers from you, and I don't like that.
Wow.
That got real deep, but like,
Listen, Rico, you got where. This is good because this is so powerful when we talk about being Black in America. What you just brought to the table was, again, this very, very diverse background, right? That you're saying, but I'm still Black. My mother's Puerto Rican. My father raised me as a Muslim and taught me about, again, the strength and dignity and pride of being Black and the real history of it all. Now, you talked about your father a couple of times. Let's dive into that. Your father was a musician, right?
yeah.
And yeah, so would you say, is that where you got into music at, or was it before that, or what was his influence on you with music?
It was definitely that. It was, I mean, both of my parents, I feel like, play a really big part, because my dad was the creative one, but my mom was the one that would like egg me on.
Okay.
You know, and they really played a really big part of my ego, because like I could literally like get dressed and my mom would just be like, oh my God, she's coming out the room. Look at her, looking fly, fresh to death. Like my mom would always gas me up.
Right.
It wasn't until I started wearing like emo and goth shit where she was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Before that, she would always gas me up, amp me up. And I would spend a lot of time with my dad in the studio, and I would always like memorize songs really fast. And I think like one of my really early Christmas gifts was a Walkman. Like I think I got a Walkman when I was probably like 5 or 4. Like how people have iPads for their kids, I had that. Like all I wanted to do was listen to music. You give me my Walkman, my headphones, bitch, I'm dead silent. Like I'm not talking. And I used to just listen to that song by Jill Scott? Let's take a long walk.
Yes, Jilly from Philly.
That's
Yeah.
the first song I ever front to back. I could sing it a cappella as a kid. Like I would walk around singing that song. And yeah, that shit used to be hella weird, because like my parents always knew I was musically inclined.
Right.
They used to play me music to go to sleep.
Mm.
But yeah, my dad was a rapper, so he was gone. Like he's not like he's gone, he's a deadbeat dad, not that type of gone, but he was gone. Like he was like in and out a lot, like gone for 2 weeks, come home, you know. So
all right, so Pops got you influenced, right? You just told me the Jilly from Philly tune is what you again immersed yourself in from front to cover. When did you start rapping? And when did you actually start singing and finding your voice? I'm curious about that.
All right, if I tell you this, I was rapping then.
Okay.
I was rapping then. If my dad told me to rap, I would rap. Or even sometimes like I would just be like, Daddy, I gotta rap, and I would rap it. And I think it's just key as parents. One thing I always admired about my parents, even now being a parent, is their ability to play along.
Yes.
That really goes a very long way as a child. Like your parent, you bringing home pictures and they're like, this is fucking Picasso. Oh my God. Like my parents, every time I did something, they would blow it out of proportion. Like, you are the best. Like it would be so crazy. So growing up, I was just always like, I'm the best. Like I'm a superstar. Like,
yes. And that's a part of your experience of being Black in America, which folks need to understand, that in your home, you were told and affirmed and loved, and everything that you did was special, and you were a superstar. Yeah.
Like everything. And then it would even also like growing up and having those movie nights with your parents, and you watch like the E News Hollywood stories. Like me and my parents too, like we used to watch a lot of TV together, a lot of movies together. And one thing about it was it didn't matter how crazy the movie was. If I was like, I want to just like that. I remember Bridge to Terabithia was the first movie I ever seen with a girl wearing combat boots.
Wow.
And I made my mom, it's like this real cheap shoe store. I don't know. They probably have it like in New York, but it's called Gusini's.
Okay.
And it's like this big wholesale shoe store. And my mom, she went the next day. She got me some combat boots because I just wouldn't stop talking about it. Like obviously, no, they couldn't put thousands of dollars into, oh, she wants to do music, cool, let's put her in music school. No, they couldn't do that. But if it was like, I wanted to do jewelry for a little while, my parents bought me a jewelry making kit, like there was always the little things that I like appreciated. And it really wasn't until high school that I noticed that we were poor.
Right.
I was like, I'm poor as fuck. Like, wait a minute. Like, what? Like, that was definitely crazy too. Like, growing up and just like the best that they could do was the only thing I knew. So that was the best to me. And it didn't matter if like, when you go to school, yeah, people pick on you every now and again. But at first I'm thinking they're just picking on me because they pick on everybody. But no, they're picking on me because I'm poor. Like, they're really picking on me because like, I don't have the latest shoes. I never do. Like, and it was just like, yeah, high school was where the rebellion phase kicked in. Also learning about in hidden colors, the government. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't want to ask my mom, but like, why are we poor? And how did we get here? And just like a whole bunch of shit that you just like want to ask your parents, but you don't. So then you start doing hood rat shit. It's like, I don't want to ask why we broke. So let me just make my money on the side. Cause like, I know that's going to make you uncomfortable. It would make me uncomfortable. My child asking me why we broke. But I had to go do my own thing on the side. Cause I just never wanted her to be like,
right.
think I was unappreciative or, but I always wanted more.
Right. Oh, you said so much. This is powerful. So I want to go backwards because I'm going to touch on all those. Number one, do you remember some of the first bars you ever spit to your pops or first song? Yeah. Can you share with us? Come on, bless us.
Bro, my breakout line would be like, it's MC in the place to be. And I'm rocking the mic with my daddy. I swear to God, that was my breakout line. Like anytime I was rapping, I'd be like, all right, dad, I'm ready. All right, yo, it's MC in the place to be. Like, I don't know what that was, but
I love that. And see, exactly right. And listen, I thought of myself as an entry-level rapper, right? So here's a little personal thing. My grandmother calls me Reese. So my opening line was always, my name is Reese Cup, but not the candy. When I'm on the mic, I'm just sweet and dandy.
I feel like, yo, like if you didn't have like your own little riddle,
you had to have
really destined for greatness.
You had to have it.
You had to have your own thing, man. As a child, you have to have your own catchphrase.
I love that. So then about poverty, you said it's so true. Listen, Rico, you said it, and I was inside. I was jumping up because I'm like, damn. It was around high school that I too recognized we broke. We don't have because I thought everybody was used. Hey, let me see how broke you were. Did you have to use that white shoe polish on your K-Swiss and polish them Johns up? Like you remember when you had the
K-Swiss? Oh. I'm like a 2013 kid. Like that was my high school era.
You're right. I forgot. I'm like,
my ninth grade year was 2012.
Okay, and you just made me feel very old. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
What? I'm like, wait, what are those?
So I love that. So you just really just aged me in front of everybody, but we'll take it. But anyway, I had to polish my jaws up. So I thought, everybody was cleaning their shoes up like that. And it was like powerful. So that experience shapes you, right? It changes you.
Even if you do, like young kids growing up, even if you do go to an all-black school, like you're not just gonna fit in just because you're black like everybody else. Like that's not like a bonding topic because like people aren't like, oh, you're black, oh, I'm black, oh, we're friends. Like it don't work like that. It's like everybody's black, so everybody's just like, what you bring to the table, bitch, what make you different type vibes. And it's just like you gotta stand in that. Like you gotta be okay with feeling a little bit different. You shouldn't gravitate to the first community that accepts you or gravitate to what you think is easiest to fit into. Not necessarily who accepts you, but like just because it's easy, that shouldn't be what you want to be. Like you should, if it's a little bit difficult to find your way, you should want that because like these are people that like they're gonna love you because they know you. Like they're going to know who you are. You're not going to say like, Oh my God. I remember this one time, bro. Me and my friends like getting older and you start drinking and stuff. Like, imagine if you hanging out with people you don't really like that or know like that and you get drunk. Like, you gotta learn that shit real early. Like, hang out with people who you trust, who respect your values, respect the things you like, and don't make you feel weird about it because we all like different things. I mean, like, there's cable on everybody's television, but we don't all watch the same shows.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I love that because you're disrupting this idea that you have to, again, get in relationship with folks merely because you share the same ethnicity, whatever it might be. That's not the reason alone, right? You have to find a group of folks that you can trust, you vibe with to get you. And so I want to now understand in your life, how have your Latin roots, if at all, influenced your music? Like, and how
Oh,
you, yeah.
well, like I used to love Daddy Yankee. Like that was the Daddy Yankee and Shakira. Like I listen to them, but I don't know. It's too much. It's so much flavor. It's like you would think I'm influenced by Spanish culture, but really, like I'm more influenced by DMV culture. Like it's so weird because it's. I wasn't raised around a bunch of Spanish people. Like I went to the Puerto Rican Day Parade probably like twice in my life. One thing that I did learn from being Spanish is I love my Spanish women. Like we put up with a lot of shit, and I say that because like my grandma is a very 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 strong woman. Like my
Mhm.
grandmother, she was a virgin when she met my grandfather, and they're still married
Got it.
to this day.
Yep.
It's been like 60 years.
Wow.
So women like that, like I don't know, like she's literally the most abuelita type of lady ever. Like the more I'm doing interviews, and my
Yep.
mom watched the one I did with Talib Kweli, she was like, "Damn, you don't really know much about Spanish culture. I need to look some stuff up because
Right. Right.
I'm very proud to be what I am.
That's
I
right.
just don't know about it yet."
Beautiful. That's a perfect answer. So the next time we circle around, you're going to know more information. It's perfect. When you think about your playlist, what song really represents to you the experience of being Black? And what would that song be and why? Your
I'm
top.
pretty.
Okay.
Unpretty by TLC. As a black woman, like they really make you feel as though like you're fucking ugly and you need to change and you'll never be good enough. Your nose will never be skinny enough. You'll never have the big ass. Like they really, it's like nothing is fucking good enough.
Mm,
But it's good enough when you take our features and put it on a white woman.
mm,
That's when it's good enough. That's when it's trendy. You literally got people out here making fucking body parts a trend.
mm,
And if you listen to Unpretty,
mm-hmm,
I feel like that song, she's talking about like you can buy your hair if it don't grow. You can fix your nose if he says so. You can buy all the makeup that Mac can make. But
mm,
if you don't look inside you,
mm.
find out who am I to be in a position to make me feel so damn unpretty. Bitch, you should never feel unpretty. They get the swag from us.
Mm,
We should all wake up like, wow, bro, people literally go sit in a tanning bed to look like this. I
mm.
can't even sit in my covers hot. Sheesh. It's a hard world, cold world out here.
Consider your covers hot.
Can't even be under the covers hot. Y'all getting in them steel tanning beds. Could never be me. So you got to be thankful for that.
So that song, I love that. And when I was looking at the playlist, one of the songs again, because you already called me out for being older, so that song resonated with me. But and having goddaughters and nieces, it's like yes. And I was so happy to see that. And now you've made it make so much sense. It's an empowering anthem, like because that's your experience. And it's so important for people to like pause and reflect on what you just said because you said a lot. Like it's not popular when we have it, but if you take our body parts, our features, our essence, whatever it is, put it on
Our
another body.
catchphrases.
Catchphrases, exactly. So then tell me as we're transitioning and now we're talking about that. Let's switch to another artist, Rico. Kendrick Lamar is known for being a storyteller about his life coming up in Compton. You have two songs on your playlist. So talk to me. What about the stories he tells in Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, Money Trees, and Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe
Oh my
resonate
God.
with your experience? What
Think
is
about
Kendrick
me,
got?
I'm dying of thirst.
Yeah,
So I
talk to
put
me.
I'm pretty because I feel like that targets the female, the young female community. But I put dying of thirst because Raising a son, a black man in America, it really, I love that song because I feel like it's very, what I take from that song is, don't lift people up and talk about how amazing they were when they gone. Embrace them and love them while they're here. Tell them that they're special while they're here. Tell them that they're legends and they're icons while they're here. And at the same time, it's like promise that you will sing about me, like promise that my legacy will live on and that all of the shit that I said and I did wasn't in vain. Real deep. And I feel like being a black man in America oftentimes like emotionally gets swept under the rug. And that is something that raising a child now is one of those things that I try to pray every night that I don't accidentally do in efforts to try and making him a man. Because just because someone is a man does not mean that they are emotionally um coherent. Like some guys can be providers and be amazing, but the emotions are not there because they've been taught. That makes them weak. That makes them soft, and that's not cool. Obviously, that Kendrick Lamar song is also about like I don't know, building a legacy. People try to snake you out. People try to shit on you. People talk down on you, but it's really all about what you want to get out of it, what you want to be remembered as, and what you like. What is your legacy? Oh my God, Money Trees.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole Good Kid, Mad City, like that whole album literally came out like when I was learning about weed and I'm selling little dime bags and trait fives and I'm like doing little petty hustles, but it's like being black once again. Money is like peace. That's
Mm,
what it's portrayed as to us.
mm, mm.
Money is portrayed as peace. Money is portrayed as like happiness and just you everything good. Nothing ever could go wrong when you got money. And that turns us into slaves because that's all we want. That's all we want is money to be able to wear this and take care of this and do this and go here and do that and look like this and look like that, trying to keep up with an image that was never created in our with us in mind. Like celebrities, that shit wasn't that the whole idea of a celebrity was not created with black people in mind. Like the way that they did that shit was literally in front of our face manipulation. Like, no, we won't make you slaves, but what we'll do is make you want every fucking thing that you could possibly think of and make you feel like shit if you don't have it so that you'll want to work until the day you die.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Mind fuck. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's great.
So Money Trees to me is like, bro, like I remember literally selling weed, bro. That's like you're like a child. Like you should not be selling weed. Like I gotta make it. Like bro, like go to school, bitch. Go to school. You can make it that way or shit. Write a song, but I'm out here doing this really like reckless shit in a sense, and it was because of that. Money Trees to me was the only place for shade, bitch. That was the only time I was gonna get some rest. Is if I had some money in my pocket, because at least I could go to sleep like, damn, all right, I can eat tomorrow.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that two great songs. Kendrick is amazing. And how you unpack that was brilliant. So much there about finding peace under the money trees, right? Like money being connected to peace and driven by getting this money and not seeing any other outlet to garnering that success and that peace and that self-value. Like you said, always putting this carrot in front of the horse, chasing after something, never finding this personal contentment. And it has you out there doing stuff that you have no business doing at an age, at any age really, but just doing shit that you shouldn't be doing in general, but you're chasing something because you're never satisfied with who you are. All these
Because
images.
always. And then it's kind of taught too. You're taught like if you don't want to chase something, what
Yeah.
are you? You lazy, you a bum, you
Mm,
ain't got shit going for yourself. Or say you are content with making $1,200 a month. You're content with that. That's fine. Like that does not bother you. People, the whole world is probably like, you broke as shit. You ain't got shit. You a loser. You're lame. When really it's like, but I'm happy. And I would and money, I feel like money, people often bite off way more than they can chew, like You think it's just so easy, but with more money, that's more taxes, that's more property, that's more responsibility, that's more employees, that's more invoices, that's more W-2s. That's bitch, it's not just more money, like it's more responsibility. So that it gets really confusing. Like, so you're telling me a person who makes $1 million is successful because they make $1 million and they stress themselves out versus the person who makes $1,200, they drive a car that they've had for years, they got the oldest phone, but they're happy, like literally happy. They kids don't know they poor, they're just happy.
That's right. That's
Who's
right.
successful?
That's right. That's right. 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 And oftentimes, let's be honest, Rico, that is steeped in, and we're going to contextualize this in Black America, that's steeped in the feeling of not feeling like you're enough as a Black person. And so oftentimes we try to fill that void of feeling inadequate, of how society has tried to make us, as you said earlier, to think you're not pretty, you're not successful, you're not ever whatever this, you're never enough. And so the more shit I gather, the more things
the
I have,
cooler I am, or at least the cooler I look to everyone else. But then it all goes back into high school. Do you want to look cool to everybody, or do you want to look cool to the people that you think are cool and the people that you love?
And most of all, I think I want to even double down on what you're saying. Are you cool to yourself? Do you like what you see? Because if everybody else like it and you don't like it, what does that really mean, right? If you're not really happy, your happiness is driven by other people's opinions and feelings, it's not a good way to live. So I hear you.
Find yourself very, very sad. And you will find yourself feeling like, what the fuck did I do all this for?
Exactly, exactly. So as we now went from our deep and nice philosophical part there about, again, I love those both songs, and Kendrick pulls that out of us, right? He's such a masterful storyteller. I mean, he's brilliant. And so he pulls us, he takes us there. But now I want to know, because you have it on there, you included Bitch, I'm Nasty. So now we gonna switch gears. Talk to me about that song, and what does that represent to you as being Black in America?
Well, I put Bitch I'm Nasty on there because I just feel as though that's like I feel like a Black alternative anthem in my head.
Okay.
Obviously, it's not like a worldwide anthem, whoa, but it's in my head.
Right.
I feel like the part where I say Black girls stand up, it always gets me hella emotional whenever I have to think about shows, but like I used to miss that part the most because I used to do a lot of festivals. And whenever I would say that line, bro, like I just love how as a Black woman, we always demand respect. I think it's very powerful. I always thought that it was so powerful that when that lyric in particular, Black girls, stand up, bitch, I'm nasty. I could just see, like all the girls who weren't Black wouldn't sing that part. But if it was Black, I would see the sense of just like pride or happiness on their face that they got mentioned. Bitch, I'm nasty, because that is just always like, you know, Trump, that's what he was using to describe women, like, oh, she's a nasty woman. And I just felt as though, like, especially being Black, like they force sexuality on us since like as a very young age. They force it on us. And then once we become what we are being shown, then we're fast and we're hot in the pants, right? So it's always been, for me, I had a son, I had a baby fresh out of high school. So, you know, I'm nasty, I'm hot in the pants, I'm fast, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. No, I just had sex like everybody else.
Yes. So the anthem is you reclaiming that. Like, nah, you're not gonna have that.
I'm reclaiming that. I'm reclaiming it from, you know, the older white guys who call us Black women ratchet and call us like, oh, they just so ratchet and nasty and all that. Like anything bad, I'm claiming that, bitch. I'm nasty and what?
Right.
I'm ghetto and what? I'm loud and what? I got an attitude problem and what?
Because as we said earlier, everything about me you actually admire and you love because you take it, co-opt it, right? Put it somewhere else, commodify, sell it, right? So I want to transition now to Rihanna, right? I see here that is, you know, I see it as one of you. She's been cited as one of your biggest influences. She has a million tracks to choose from. Why did you choose Desperado? And what's it say about being Black in America?
I like that song because it makes me feel strong.
Mhm.
And oftentimes, being Black in America, you feel alone.
Mm,
And I feel like that song makes it cool to be alone.
mm.
So, for all my loners out there who haven't found their clique or where they fit, I feel like that song is kind of just like one of those ones you put on by yourself and you're content with solitude. You don't need nobody.
I love that. I
I
love.
love Rihanna.
I could listen. We had a moment right here. It got really somber. They could have played the soft music behind us. You were like, I just love it. So I love that you picked again that song Desperado. It's like lonely, melancholy, it makes you feel strong and being alone. Then we switch it up and go from Rihanna. Then you slip into Jay-Z, Song Cry, talking about how he feels, and he can't cry, so he's got to let the music do it for him. And I know a lot of people talk about Black men and this hardness, but that was not my experience, Rico. Like my family, the men in my family, hardcore men, but they cried about every damn thing. Like
They get
they
it right.
yeah, they taught me it was totally okay to cry. I mean, we bro hug it out, so hug it out, whatever you want to say, but that was cool. So I mean, I saw my uncles cry, my pastors cry, all that stuff. So I guess I'm asking for you, what do you hope to teach your son about expressing emotions through music, etc.? Because I know that's important. You have a little fella there now.
I just think that it's really important that he knows that it's okay. Like right now, my son has an attitude problem. He gets mad about every little thing. He is getting to the point where he'll be mad and he'll explain what he's mad about like an adult. He'll explain why he didn't like that. And there's been very few times that he's been mad about something and it didn't make sense. Like it makes perfect sense. Like, and I think oftentimes people when they have kids, it's like, you have no idea what you're gonna have to really deal with when you get older. Why are you even like why are you even doing that? Like, and I feel like Song Cry is just like I feel like at my job as an artist, being Black in America, like I don't want to seem weak, even though I just contrasted that. I'm contradicting myself. I don't want to seem weak. I want to seem strong. Like I want people to understand that despite all of the fucked up shit going on, whether it's in my life or in the world, like the song is gonna cry before I do. I'll make you guys feel it in the music before I'm, walking around here blaming my emotions on other people. Like it's also like in a sense of that's kind of the only way I know how to really put my emotions into music, into my talents. Being Black in America, that's kind of our outlet. You play basketball, you play a sport, you become a doctor or a lawyer, you do something, you dive head first into it to the point where that's what numbs your pain. Going to work or, making music or training, like that shit is what helps you deal with your trauma. Diving head first into something that you love. So I just used that song because Jay-Z loves music and he said he gonna make the song cry, but I feel like it was a football player or something. He gonna make the ball cry. He gonna make something feel that pain
Yeah.
and it not be showing on their face.
Got it. Got it. It's an opportunity. It's an outlet. He uses the music, and you're saying Black folks have always used these different modes and outlets to allow a vehicle to express our emotions. I get it. I need you to unpack Fashion Killer, ASAP Rocky. All right, how did that make the list? Talk to me about what does that mean to you of being Black in America? Talk to me.
Um, I knew this one was coming. We fashion killers.
Okay. Period.
We are the culture.
Okay.
Plain and simple. I
And
play
that's
the
it.
song. I love that song so much because it just made me feel like, cause she a fashion killer and I'm a jiggy nigga. Ah, bitch, yes, I am. Like I'm a trendy nigga. I'm a jiggy nigga. He's naming all these brands that it's like I don't know, being fly.
Yeah.
That shit it do something to the soul,
That's right. And being
because
fly is
like
being Black, right? That's just
it
we fashion killers.
come on, bro, like Missy Elliott wore a trash bag. No, bitch is not fucking with us. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like, we can do anything. We can
Right.
do anything.
I love it. And it becomes fashionable. It becomes
And it becomes
fashionable. I love that. I love that. All right. I love that. That's perfect. Black Savage was released as part of Jay-Z's Inspire Change Initiative. What do you think is the role musicians and specifically Black artists have, Rico, in social justice and activism? Is that something you try to do through your music or in other areas of your life?
Hmm. So that's a really, really good question because I'm a rapper, I'm not an activist. I'm not like none of that. I feel like in order to be there, I should like research more, learn more, be open to hearing people's opinions and debating topics and shit like that. But I feel like my role and what anybody's role as an artist should be is to promote a message that you stand behind. So if you stand behind self-love,
Mm-hmm.
stand behind that. If you
Mm-hmm.
stand behind freedom,
Mm-hmm.
stand behind that.
Mm-hmm.
If you stand behind hood shit, stand behind that. And the only reason I say that is because it doesn't matter what you standing for. If it's for the right reason, then more power to you. I remember growing up, if I had somebody tell me, you know, thank God I ain't have to smack a bitch today, or just like it's okay to be weird and black, like, bro, I probably wouldn't have like, you know, it's just a lot of shit you put yourself through thinking you're the only one. So it's, you know, your job is not to become the next Martin Luther King or be this big political activist and know the right answers to everything and do the right thing all the time. No, your job is to be a human fucking being. Don't shit on nobody. Don't act like you better than nobody. Because at the end of the day, you rapping about the struggle, right? You know where I came from, right? We should be cool. You know, we got the same story. So never act like you're better than nobody. Like your job should just strictly be to give your story to help somebody else get the fuck out of where they at.
I love it. And I love how you said, first and foremost, I am an artist. And if I choose to go down the path of activism, the first thing I want to do, and I think that's brilliant, you said, is educate myself. I need to learn about the issue. What's important to me before I start
Or
engaging.
exactly like what issues are important. Yeah, what issues are it's so many issues, bro.
Right.
Like it's too
Right.
many issues.
Right.
So which ones are important to me? Like then you gotta dig deeper and then you need to look at why are these issues important to me? Are they important to me because they affect my money? Are they important to me because why are they important to you? Like
that's right. That's
all
right.
of it.
That's right. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Rico, this has been an amazing conversation. I couldn't thank you more for this. I mean, I feel like I was just chilling, relaxing with you at the house, just kicking it. And thank you. And I mean that. This has been fabulous. I think I want to wrap it up again, just kind of summarize as I always do, just thinking back on it. I heard you say this in another comment, but I want to wrap it up with one question again and just your final thoughts. Now we've kind of talked through all this. I heard you say again, but I want to ask you one more time, and you just end with this. If you had one word, what would you use that one word to describe your experience of being Black in America?
I wanna say confusing but triumphant. Once you find out and get to the bottom of that confusion,
Mm,
you just feel so you feel so amazing. You feel so like y'all
mm,
did all that to try to keep a bitch down.
mm.
And I'm still here. Can't kill me, bitch.
That's right. That's right. I'm still here. I'm still loving. I'm still smiling. I'm
I'm
still
so
winning. I'm still
exactly.
here.
I'm not bitter. I'm
That's right.
not mean. Y'all ain't do shit but a couple nicks and bruises.
Couple of I was confused, but we're triumphant. I love it. I love it. Family, I hope you enjoyed our conversation as much as I did. And if you did, please hit the subscribe button now and share this with your friends and family because we have a year of incredible conversations that you don't want to miss. Thanks for listening and take care. Your folks might understand you.